Yava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radhe Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Shri Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada ki Granth Śrimad Bhāgavatam ki Gopi Manande Hari Hari Bol. Welcome everyone to Bhagavatam class. I might need a mic. I guess we usually use a mic. Today we're going to read, to continue our chapter 2 of Canto 4. And today we're going to do text 31. I'm going to have it here. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Rashtraprayashva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtike. Before reciting this Śrimad Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Narayan, unto Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. This is the translation of the verses we just recited. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhāgavatam, and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome in the heart is almost completely destroyed, and love and service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. So, do we have a verse? Do we have verse anywhere? We have on the phones, right? So it's 4:2:31. Esha eva hi lokanam Shiva pantha sanatana Yam purve chanu santastur Yat pramanam janardana Esha eva hi lokanam Shiva pantha sanatana Yam purve chanu santastur Yat pramanam janardana Ishaiva hi lokanam Shiva panta sanatana Yam purvechan santastur Yatramanam janardana This chant. Ishaiva hi lokanam Shiva panta sanatana Yam purvechan santastur Yatramanam janardana Eshaiva hi lokanam Shiva panta sanatana Yam purve chana santastu Yatra manam janardana Shaiva hi lokana Shiva panta sanatana Yam purve chana santastu Yatra manam janardana Shaiva hi lokana Shiva panta sanatana Yam purve chana santastu Yatra manam janardana Eshaiva hi lokana Shiva panta sanatana Yam purve chana santastu Yatra manam janardana Anybody else? I just noticed how nice it is. The Sanskrit language is very cool and it's very soothing and nice. Also, Harilas will be given Sanskrit, I guess, basics of Sanskrit grammar on Saturday. So I highly recommend everyone to attend. But I noticed that the more you recite verse, you actually will be able to memorize it. I think Hare Pran mentioned that, some people, they have different ways to memorize verses, and one of them is just chant on the beats, like you chant whole round of one verse. I actually tried it, it works, even if you don't pay any attention. So the more we recite, around us, by the end, we can actually memorize the verse. Isn't it amazing? We can just recite instead of thinking of nonsense. Helps me personally. Word for word translation. Synonyms. Esha, the Vedas. Eva, certainly. He, for. Lokanam, of all people. Shiva, auspicious. Antaha, path. Sanatanaha, eternal, young, rich, Vajta, Purve, in the past, Cha, also, oh sorry, and I think Cha also means also. Anusantastu was rigidly followed. Yat, in which Pramanam, the evidence. Janardanaha, Janardana, translation. Purport by Divine Grace. Isi Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Vedas give the eternal regulative principles for auspicious advancement in human civilization, which have been rigidly followed in the past. The strong evidence of this principle is that Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is called Janardana, the well-wisher of all living entities. Let's repeat all together. The Vedas give the eternal regulative principles
The Vedas give the eternal regulative
for auspicious advancement in human civilization, which have been rigidly followed in the past. The strong evidence of this principle is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is called Janardana, the well-wisher of all living entities. Who remembers this verse from Bhagavad Gita, which it doesn't mention the name Janardana, but it also says the same thing, that Krishna, he is actually well-wisher of all living entities. Who is? It's something Prabhupada called the peace formula. Yeah. Can you score last line from Prabhupada? This actually says the peace formula. Yeah. Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam. Suhridam means it's like it actually means friend. There are many words in Sanskrit word for word friend. Like in English we would say just friend, but in Sanskrit it depends on how close you are with the person. Then you would use different words. So Suhrit, it's actually very dear person. It's like a friend, but Hrit means heart. It's someone who's in your heart. Like that. Suhridam Sarva means all, and Bhutanam all the living entities. So the well-wisher of all living entities. Good, good. Okay, purport. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, has claimed that he is the father of all living entities, regardless of form. There are 8,400,000 different species of life forms, and Lord Krishna claims that he is the father of all. Because the living entities are parts and parcels of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they are all sons of the Lord. And for their benefit, because they are hovering under the impression that they can lord it over material nature, the Vedas are given to them for their guidance. Therefore, the Vedas are called Aparusheya, for they are not written by any man or demigod, including the first living creature, Brahma. Brahma is not the creator or author of the Vedas. He is also one of the living beings in this material world. Therefore, he does not have the power to write or speak the Vedas independently. Every living entity within this material world is subject to 4 deficiencies. He commits mistakes, he accepts one thing for another, he cheats, and he has imperfect senses. The Vedas, however, are not written by any living creature within this material world. Therefore, they are said to be Apurusheya. No one can trace out the history of the Vedas. Of course, modern human civilization has no chronological history of the world or the universe, and it cannot present actual historical facts older than 3,000 years. But no one has traced out when the Vedas were written, because they were never written by any living being within this material world. All other systems of knowledge are defective because they have been written or spoken by men or demigods who are products of this material creation. But Bhagavad Gita is apaurushaya, for it has not spoken by any human being or any demigod of this material creation. It was spoken by Lord Krishna, who is beyond the material creation. That is accepted by such stalwart scholars as Shankaracharya, not to speak of other acharyas, such as Ramanujacharya and Madhvacharya. Shankaracharya has accepted that Narayan and Krishna are transcendental. And in Bhagavad Gita, also Lord Krishna has established, Aham sarvasya prabhavo mata sarvam pravartate. I am the origin of everything. Everything emanates from me. This material creation, including Brahma and Shiva and all the demigods, has been created by him. For everything has emanated from him. He also says that the purpose of all the Vedas is to understand him. Vedasya sarvar aham eva vidya. He is the original Vedavid, or knower of the Vedas, and Vedantikrit, or compiler of Vedanta. Brahma is not the compiler of the Vedas. In the beginning of Śrimad Bhāgavatam, it is established, Tene Brahma Hrida, the Supreme Absolute Truth, the personality of Godhead, instructed Brahma in the Vedic knowledge through his heart. Therefore, the evidence that Vedic knowledge is free from the defects of mistakes, illusions, cheating, and imperfection is that it is spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Janardana, and has thus been followed from time immemorial, beginning from Brahma. The Vedic religion, or the principles of the Vedas, have been followed by the highly cultured population of India since time immemorial. No one can trace out the history of Vedic religion. Therefore, it is Sanatana, and any blasphemy against the Vedas is calculated to be atheism. The Vedas are described as setu, which means a bridge. If one wants to attain his spiritual existence, one has to cross an ocean of nations. The Vedas are the bridge by which to cross such a great ocean. The Vedas describe how to divide the human race into 4 divisions according to quality and working capacity. This is a very scientific system, and it is also Sanatana, for no one can trace out its history and it has no dissolution. No one can stop the system of Varna and Ashrama, or the caste and divisions. For example, whether or not one accepts the name Brahmana, there is a class in society which is known as the intelligent class, and which is interested in spiritual understanding and philosophy. Similarly, there is a class of men who are interested in administration and in ruling others. In the Vedic system, these martially spirited men are called kshatriyas. Similarly, everywhere there is a class of men who are interested in economic development, business, industry, and money making. They are called vaishyas. And there is another class who are neither intelligent nor martially spirited nor endowed with the capacity for economic development, but who simply can serve others. They are called shudras, or laborer class. This system is Sanatana. It comes from time immemorial, and it will continue in the same way. There is no power in the world which can stop it. Therefore, since this Sanatana Dharma system is eternal, one can elevate himself to the highest standard of spiritual life by following the Vedic principles. It is stated that firmly the sages follow this system. Therefore, to follow the Vedic system is to follow the standard etiquette of society. But the followers of Lord Shiva, who are drunkards, who are addicted to intoxicants and sex life, who do not bathe, and who smoke ganja, are against all human etiquette. The conclusion is that persons who rebel against the Vedic principles are themselves the evidence that the Vedas are authoritative, because by not following the Vedic principles, they become like animals. Such animalistic persons are themselves evidence of the supremacy of the Vedic regulations. Very long purpose. Let's decide just prayers if anybody knows it. So please do it with me. Om Jnanatimiransya Vyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuromilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadabhayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamsha Hare Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhubhyacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. First of all, I would like to ask for blessings from all the assembled devotees. It says that Vaishnavas are worshipable. That's right. And also, as we say in obeisance prayers, that Vaishnavas can fulfill all desires and just in desires. So please bless me so I can speak something in line with Shastra and beneficial for all of you. So, I guess we're all aware of the storyline. It's very fascinating and very captivating, I would say. Usually, the prayers part or some philosophy part, it's hard to grasp. But these stories, me personally just love them in Bhāgavatam. And they describe so many, we can relate to them so much, especially to this one. So we all know that Daksha and Lord Shiva, they were in enmity with each other, which it wasn't the case from the side of Lord Shiva. It was the case from the side of Daksha. And what happened here, this is what's happening right now. Shiva wasn't given, proper. Oh wait, this is still not that one. That's the second yaga. So basically, Daksha got offended that Shiva didn't offer him obeisances. They didn't offer him respect because he was his son-in-law. And what happened? He started basically saying very bad words about Lord Shiva without even knowing anything about his personality. And the Brahmana started the Nandi, the carrier of Shiva, he started cursing back because he was very upset with the person of Lord Shiva. And then the Brahmana started cursing back. And this is what we see here. Brigmuni, he actually says he's cursed. And in the previous verse, he also, it's very interesting that he gives all these curses, but then Advaita Prabhupada said in his purport that he didn't even have to curse him in this way because what Nandi was doing, it was already atheistic because it was against the Vedas. And of course, first, what comes to mind is that the fourth offense to the holy name. Remember the fourth offense to the holy name? Yeah. The blasphemy of the Vedic literatures. I could never understand what it means. It's easy to understand, oh, don't blaspheme the devotees who, distribute books and all that stuff. But the blasphemy Vedic literatures, and now I got this word. So you see, it says that Vedas, they are extremely important. Vedas, actually, this is like huge amount of knowledge, which everything based upon. Like whatever we know right now, whatever anybody has ever learned. It's all from Vedas. Vedas is very wide, um, wide ocean of knowledge. And in this particular case, it says that people who are not following the Vedas, they basically considered to be atheists, like that. And it says that the Vedas give us guidance, which is I really like reading it. You know, if you think about our human body as a machine or something, right? We got it somehow or other by good fortune, and we have to know what to do with this. It's like if you have iPhone or any, I don't know, MacBook, any technology, right? How much do we actually know about this? Like I probably just use 1% of it, right? I don't even know what it can do, you know. And the same with, so I need guidance, you know. Did you see these different videos how, you know, it's like, oh, see what Apple hides from you or something, like tricks on iPhone and all this stuff. Like I have no idea about these things. Not that I know I need it, but if we see it in this case, right? If we have something very valuable as human body, and if we don't know how to use it, we just misuse it, right? As we're all familiar and we all know, most of the people use it for sense gratification, just to gratify the senses, and they think that they don't need any guidance. And then the question comes is that we, you know, we try to, and in purport also Srila Prabhupada says that we try to control and we try to like lord it over the material nature. We think that we can do it, and but always like never, always something goes wrong. I would put it in this way. Even if like everything is perfect, you just like doing everything right, and you follow all the rules, or you don't follow the rules and it still works out for you, right? Like that. At some point, everything is gonna collapse. And then, you know, intelligent person will ask, like, what am I doing wrong? I did everything right. Why it's still not working? Or I did everything wrong, and what should I do? So, and we can't become really comfortable in this material world, and that's why to actually progress, we have to ask why. Why this all things, you know, like why I try my best to do something in this world and it still doesn't work. Why? What should be added? And if we don't ask, we just keep going and it leads us nowhere. We think, you know, I think, oh yeah, I'm doing everything right. Everyone around me just nonsense. That's what Daksha did, right? You know, he was thinking, yeah, I'm, you know, the best person. I know best. I was appointed to do special service, and what I'm doing, this is the best, like that. But then we see that it didn't, still, you know, at some point it'll collapse. And he was doing the right thing, right? But then by offending one devotee, which wasn't just a devotee, but the greatest devotee of the Lord, he got himself into a very difficult situation, as we see. So, and what Vedas give us, they give us this guidance. Someone asks why, we just give them Bhagavad Gita and tell them. You have to read it and see. And actually, Srila Prabhupada says about this offense of blaspheming Vedic literatures, it applies on every scripture which talks about God, which is cool, isn't it? Right? We're thinking, yeah, we are all the best. But it's also, you know, how do you call it, like designation of something, right? Because we see that advanced devotees, the more they progress, they actually can talk to anybody, any religion, right? And they will be on very good means with this person. And I was also thinking about, you know, this whole plot here about, you know, the envy from Daksha's side, and it's just interesting how it happens. You see, like everything has its development. Nothing happens overnight. Good things, bad things, like that. And in case with Daksha and Lord Shiva, when this situation happened, right, when the cursing started happening, it was already like it wasn't the beginning of it. It's not like, Shiva didn't pay respects and actually got all freaked out like that. So it was happening for some time before. So this was just like the point where Daksha couldn't control himself anymore, and then he started cursing him and saying bad things. So as Vaishnavas, we have to be very careful about how do we, how do we interact, of course, and whether we develop some kind of um, animosity towards others. Well, for this we have to be very introspective because we always think it's fascinating how every single person thinks that I'm right, isn't it? I find it very fascinating. Like it's very like wow, for real. They think I'm right. So if we're a little bit introspective, we can actually accept. My spiritual master, His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu, has a very nice phrase he heard once on a radio that there was one person he was being interviewed. And he said, I live to be corrected. Very wonderful phrase. If Daksha knew this, his life, probably he wouldn't get, God hand. But yeah. So, and it says that also Vedas is the bridge to cross this ocean of material existence. And it's very important to understand this, that we need help. I'm listening to this Kartik Inspirations by His Holiness Sachinanda Swami, and his recent recording was about how we need help. And actually, when we accept that we need help, we progress. Isn't it kind of, strange, right? That, oh no, I'm advancing, I'm doing everything right, yeah, I'm growing up, but then also pride grows with all this, right? And even he has the nice meaning of Mahamantra, what he tells people when they ask him what it means. He says, oh yeah, it means I need help. I think Vaisheshika Prabhu also says the same, like that. So I need help. And when we understand that we need help, we can actually, our heart can be more open. The pride goes down and we can advance and we can actually take guidance from the books. Have you noticed how sometimes you really like, you kind of going into this, like humble mode, you're really asking for answers, please, like answer me, and then every Bhagavatam class, every reading, every talk with a devotee, you get these answers, isn't it? Because you're open. It actually says that, a nice example about humility, that humble person, the more advanced they become more humble, and it compares to a mango tree with very, very ripened fruits on it. So what it does when, the fruits ripen, they become very heavy, right? And what it does, it goes all the way to the ground, right? It doesn't stand like this, like very proud. I'm a proud mango tree. It goes all the way down because it's very heavy with, with mango fruits. And the same it compares that, person who's advancing, he's very heavy with knowledge, right? That all this knowledge make him very, very humble and of course compassionate, right? Give this knowledge to others. Like that. Let's see. It also in purport mentions how everyone has different natures, right? It mentions 4 ashramas and 4 varnas, that everyone has different inclinations and it can be changed. Whatever is happening, even in this Kali Yuga, we see that we still have inclinations to different things. I really like the class of Mother Urmila, what she gave here about Dharma, I believe it's called. Basically about, without using the Sanskrit word, she just described different varnas, which was very amazing. Because usually when we hear Shudra, oh no one wants to be a Shudra. No, I'm not a Shudra. I want to be Brahmana, yeah. But she just described different occupations and what you kind of could figure out what you inclined more to do, like that. So which varna you could be. Like that. Of course, now we know we're all Shudras. We're actually not Shudras. His Grace Ayendra Prabhu says that we are rejects of Kali Yuga. So we're not even Shudras. So Shudras is also quite a level because they're able to serve others. It says here they don't have any inclinations to rule, no inclinations to any Brahminical thing, but they are ready to serve others. Are we ready to serve others all the time? So we see that even Shudras. Yeah. And um, it says also that it gives, Srila Prabhupada brings up this nice verse, 15:15, which you probably know by now. Very famous verse. Vidaicha sarvai aham eva vidya vedanta vidveda videva chaham. So Srila Prabhupada says Vidaicha sarvai aham eva vidya. What does it actually mean? It means that all the Vedas at the end, they actually supposed to teach only one thing: how to know Krishna. If it doesn't teach you how to know Krishna, then you fall in something wrong. Like that. Of course, there are different levels. As we know, Vedic knowledge, very, it's a vast ocean. There's so many different scriptures for different people in different modes, like that. So, of course, from mode of ignorance, we progress to mode of passion, mode of goodness, then we can learn about Krishna. Even we see it in book distribution. If someone is, deeply in a mode of ignorance, right? Don't tell them, you could and see what happens. But you don't tell them, please just, chant Hare Krishna. He's God. He's like so amazing. He's a blue boy. He's playing the flute. You can tell this, but you see there is no like a connection. Not so much at least. But if you tell them, hey, I get a cookie for you, make a wish, make a prayer, you're like, oh. There's a little bit more connection, right? Because you have to go where they are at. The same with the Vedas, right? So they meant for people where they are at, particular place where they're at. And then it meant to bring you up, and then all the way to Krishna, like that. And of course, we know that for our time right now, if we try to study all the Vedas and whatever Upanishads, all these amazingly complicated books, we might understand something, but we also might misunderstand many things. Right? As Srila Prabhupada mentions here, that all the human beings, we are all have 4 defects. Right? Make a mistake, we're actually prone for illusion. Like we think it's true, but it's all illusion. But we actually think it's true. No, this is how I feel. This is true. This illusion. It happens so many times when, of course, our feelings are true. But if you feel some kind of like a very heavy feeling, try to chant chapter Bhagavad Gita on your beats for 15 minutes. It takes 10 minutes, one verse, and see how you feel after. It despairs. It's amazing. You still have this, whatever happens, yes, but you don't have such a strong feelings towards the situation. It's pretty amazing because even like just Sanskrit language is really powerful. Every single verse in Śrimad Bhāgavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and every Vedic literature is a mantra. So you can chant and you will feel completely different. That purifies you from inside. Okay, it works. Yeah. So let's see if we have anything else. I have something else to say, but Ryan has a question or correction or reflection. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for the class. I liked it. That was very astute how you connected the 4th offense to the holy name. Kind of give explanation of that is more of an attitude of thinking that we have everything figured out, and that a lot of people are like that, myself included. So I was also had a question because in this purport, the verse is glorifying the Vedic literature, and the purport Srila Prabhupada is saying as well that the Vedic literature is true because it's being advocated by so many stalwart acharyas and so many authorities like Shankaracharya. So someone maybe nowadays might object to that. They say, well, you're saying this is true because of authority, but I see that in the history of the world, a lot of authorities have caused a lot of problems. You know, a lot of religious authorities have also spread a lot of untruth and disseminated false knowledge. So why should I trust the Vedic literature just because some historical personalities endorsed it? You know, is there a better reason?
This is next question. Very deep question. So, you don't have to trust until you try it for yourself. Bhagavad Gita says that gives this next verse, I think we look at 9:2. You know this one? Yeah, it says that it gives actual, you get actual experience, like you get, it says, this knowledge is looking for purification, the most secret of all secrets, is the purest knowledge. So, because it gives direct perception of the self by realization. So you actually, you can experience for yourself. You can experience everything what says in Vedas, everything was there. You don't have to trust until, you have to also, we kind of do blind faith like that, right? Like when we practice something, it becomes very solid in you, and it works for you. I believe it works for you, right? Because you're doing it every single day, you distribute in books. If it didn't work, you wouldn't do that. Because the next thing, after we experience something ourselves, we want to share it. Right? Like that. And at the end, Srila Prabhupada actually answers your question. He says that, about the followers of Lord Shiva, how, they're not necessarily like, clean or they follow an etiquette. He says that this is in itself the proof that the Vedic knowledge work, because they don't follow it, they become like animals. And if you actually follow it, you will be a little bit closer to, human beings. I don't know how now we can, I do know how we can apply it now. Why chanting? Actually, yeah, I don't have to answer the question, so Prabhupada did. And I want to read something else. It's actually from Lord Shiva. He goes, there is a chapter which he, later on in this canto, when he actually instructs for chapters, Lord Shiva, it's a very famous chapter, the song sung by Lord Shiva. And he also gives very nice read it to you. Srimad Bhāgavatam is always better than. It's 4, 24, 14, if anybody keeps score. Lord Shiva says, it's a prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It says, my dear Lord, by expanding your transcendental vibrations, you reveal the actual meaning of everything. You are the all-pervading sky within and without, and you are the ultimate goal of pious activities executed both within this material world and beyond. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances again and again unto you. And Srila Prabhupada comments in his foreword, Vedic evidence is called Shabda. There are many things which are beyond the perception of our imperfect senses, yet the authoritative evidence of sound vibration is perfect. That's what you do. Sound vibration. How do you know? The Vedas are known as Shabda because evidence taken from the Vedas constitutes the ultimate understanding. This is because Shabda or the Vedas, represent the Supreme Personality of God. However, the real essence of Shabda Brahman is what it is. Exactly. It says, is the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. By vibrating this transcendental sound, the meaning of everything, both material and spiritual, is revealed. This Hare Krishna is not different from the personality of God. The meaning of everything is received through the air, through sound vibration. The vibration may be material or spiritual, but without sound vibration, no one can understand the meaning of anything. So you see, the Prabhupada learned this more. You need the verse?
Yeah, was it?
It was 4:24:40. 4:24:40.
40, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I put it.
14.
I thought you said
I'm
14.
sure 14 is also good.
14 is
There's no
a
better
great one
verses
too.
in the Bible.
But
Nice.
So of course we can try hard to follow the Vedas, to follow all the, what is it, Man Samhita, any book. But good luck. It's hard. It's just, we can even go crazy, because it's just so hard to follow everything. But what we can do, and it's followed by all our Sampradaya acharyas, chanting. That's what we do, chanting Hare Krishna. That's what all we can do. Is there anything else? Reflections? Corrections? One word from you remember from class? Stuck in the mind, in the heart? Yes, sold out. Okay. Is that okay?
Was an art, and I was starting with the art, and I one time it means the life that all lives. The Prabhupada gives that meaning. Life that all lives.
Nice. Because the Janardana means life of all that lives. Thank you. Yeah, you see, it's like Krishna, he's caring for everyone. That's why he gives us this guidance. That's how why he gives us Bhagavad Gita. And my spiritual master once told me, I asked him, how should I don't understand many things in Bhagavad Gita, I can't really connect. In Bhagavad Gita, my inter stories are cool, but Bhagavad Gita, this is the basic. I have to read every single day. And I said, how do I do that? And his answer was, you have to read it that Krishna speaks directly to you. That, you on a place of virtue. And aren't we all, internally and externally, we fight positive virtue every single day. Whether in your mind, whether outside,